lại với channel của Evo. Hôm nay chúng ta sẽ tiếp tục xem 20 điều có thể bạn chưa biết về Darksouls. Thì tình hình là nó thế nào nhỉ? Sau khi cố công chance bằng hết lúc này thì cuối cùng mình cũng đã có thể đưa đến cho các bạn 20 điều cuối cùng. Còn 5 điều nữa nhưng mình sẽ nghĩ không quá quan trọng thì có thể phải chưng ở đây, vì thực tế đó là những cái điều liên quan đến game developer, nhưng nên cái đó không quan trọng lắm về nội dung của game. Nên thôi, hãy bắt đầu xem 20 điều có thể bạn chưa biết về Darksouls.
Hey everyone, I honestly didn't think I'd be making another one of these, but here we are. Yet another 10 more things you didn't know about Dark Souls. As usual, like the video if you learned something new, and dislike the video if you knew everything. Since there's 40 of these facts now, there's a playlist annotation on the screen so you can test how many things you knew out of 40. So let's start with a good one, something that I only found out recently. Did you know that you can kill Calamite without Goff's help? All you have to do is shoot him as he flies out of the chasm and sweeps the area. Sound easy? It's not. The best place to shoot from is probably here, since his location gives you time to loose an arrow and then switch out to your shield. But fuck up once and fumble your shield and it looks like you'll be starting over, because that does a lot of damage. Anyway, doing this unlocks new dialogue with Goff, where he recognizes your prowess and expresses what an honor it is to meet you. Number 2. Once you've awoken the undead dragon, it's really difficult to just sprint past him and avoid his swipe. But never fear, since the devs put a borderline invisible ramp here, which you can run up to get past safely. Further on, there's also this little cave with a humanity in it. Since everyone just runs through the valley, it's likely these are things that you missed. Number 3. If you drop essential items like the Covenant of Artorias or the Orange Charred Ring, then once you reload the game, these items will be available in the chest next time you visit. Number 4. There are 3 types of resins you can apply to your weapon in Dark Souls: rotten pine resin, gold pine resin, and charcoal pine resin. Now what's interesting is that these resins correlate to the methods the lords used against the dragons to retake the surface. Gwyn's lightning peeled apart their stone scales, Nito unleashed toxic corruption upon their exposed flesh, and the Witch of Izalith burnt down their homes, the Arch Trees. Fire, lightning, and toxic and corruption. Number 5. When you start the game with a knight or cleric, you have your joy emote replaced with prayer. You can learn joy from Dunhall. Number 6. The statues in the catacombs have family masks on them. The statue with the mother's mask will stab you as you pass, and the statue with the father's mask will not. This would be useful information if those stabs actually were a threat. And number 7. Gravelords are so rare because they only appear to players who have entered New Game Plus. I guess this was because From didn't want to make the game too hard for people on their first playthrough, but it really affected the effectiveness of the Covenant. Number 8. Ever wondered why you randomly get soft humanities as you progress throughout the world? Well, there's a logic to it in the form of an invisible humanity meter which keeps track of the enemies you've killed. Once a certain value is reached, a single point of humanity will be obtained, with a total of 10 available in each area. Now, different enemies are actually worth a different amount of points for the humanity meter, with each subsequent humanity requiring more kills to obtain than the previous one. Number 9. I hope you've got everything so far. Now, this might just be a glitch, but it's a bit of an appropriate glitch. When you look up at the sun in Anor Londo, it disappears and then it appears regularly, on and off. This ties in really well with the idea that the light in Anor Londo is an illusion made by Gwyndolin to make it seem like the power isn't fading. Clearly he's having a hard time maintaining this illusion. And number 10. Something funny you might have missed: the elevator in Blighttown looks to be powered by this fire dog, like a hamster in a wheel. And that's it. Leave a like if you learned something new, and look forward to some great content in the future. What's that? You didn't think I could think of 10 more things? Think again. Welcome to what is almost definitely the last episode of 10 things you didn't know about Dark Souls. As usual, here are the rules. I'm going to tell you 10 little known but interesting facts. If you knew everything, then leave a dislike. If you learned something new, then reward me with a like. Let's get started. Number 1. Equip the Orange Charred Ring. When you kick an enemy, you'll do a small amount of fire damage. Number 2. Use Aloyd's Talisman on a woken up mimic, and you'll put it back to sleep. There's a very high chance that it'll drop the headpiece, and it will definitely drop the item hidden inside. Number 3 is also related to mimics. Any enemy's grab attack can be escaped earlier by mashing the bumpers on your controller. You'll notice I take less damage when I do this. Next is number 4, and I think I'm gonna get a lot of you with this one. Use gold pine resin in the crystal caves, and it will come out blue instead. It stays blue even if you leave. Likewise, apply it outside and walk into the caves, and it will stay gold. It's weird. Number 5, the egghead mechanic. The egg burdened can infect you with a parasite. After a while you'll scratch your head and 5 minutes later you'll become egg burdened yourself. But did you know that the egg consumes half your souls? If you feed it 100,000 souls, then it will evolve into a larger form with a fully grown parasite. This animation will replace your kick animation, doing a bit of damage while knocking them back. And for number 6, have you ever realized how useful the spell Oral Decoy is? It can be used to expose the weaknesses of many enemies, like the giant knights. It's actually surprisingly useful if you're having trouble with the Capra Demon, since he'll focus on it at the expense of all else. Number 7 doesn't really need an explanation. I think they made a mistake. Number 8 isn't something a sane person would try. If you damage the Anor Londo Batwing Demon, it will fly away. The same goes for the crow at Firelink Shrine, except the Batwing Demon returns. The crow will not. Alright, we're up to number 9, and I'm kind of wondering how many people knew everything at this point. Did you know that there's a short alternate cutscene for Gwendolyn if you enter as a White Phantom? It's strange that they even bothered, but it's there. And here it is, number 10. It's technically 3 things, but let's group them under the title Rare Boss Moves. Did you know that Nito has a grab attack? I waited 20 minutes for him to do it, but it does a ton of damage. At least now you know that you have to mash those bumpers if you want to get out early. The second rare boss move I chose is the Bed of Chaos. She has this fireball attack when you're at a distance. She did it instantly here for me, but I could never get her to repeat it. And lastly, the Moonlight Butterfly will sometimes shoot a blue orb when she swaps sides on the bridge. This particularly happens when she's low on health. So, did you know everything? Let me know. If you want to try and see how many things you knew out of 50, then click on the screen for the playlist and watch all 5 videos. I'd also like to take the chance to thank you guys for watching my videos.
Đến đây là kết thúc của video 50 điều, 55 điều nhưng nói chung 50 điều có thể bạn chưa biết về Darksouls Part 2. Bạn cảm thấy vui chứ? Cảm thấy thích video chứ? Nếu thích như vậy thì hãy kiểm tra kênh gốc của cái channel đã tạo ra những video tuyệt vời này. Mình sẽ để cái link ở bên dưới phần description của mình. Và nếu bạn cảm thấy công sức của mình đã làm cho ra cái tổng hợp cái video này xứng đáng, hãy để lại like và sub nếu các bạn cảm thấy điều đó là xứng đáng. Cảm ơn các bạn đã xem video đến tận tình và ủng hộ mình trong suốt khoảng thời gian qua, và cũng tạm biệt cái Darksouls 1 vì sắp tới rồi chúng ta sẽ bắt đầu với chuyến hành trình mới, một cuộc sống mới với Darksouls dự là sẽ vô cùng là tuyệt vời. Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại các bạn ở Darksouls 2 Walkthrough.